our final spring program. Kindergarten will perform a three-piece opera, which is a singing rendition of the Big Bad Wolf and Three Little Pigs. First grade, when they get up here, are going to be doing Three Nanny Goats Gruff, and it is a rendition of the Three Billy Goats Gruff, and they'll be singing. Our second grade is doing Barnyard Musical, which is a brand new musical. And I gotta tell you, we can't sit still on that one. We're having a lot of fun. So when this is all through and finished, the kids will leave out that door. You must check them out through the office, please. Please don't try and take your child from the line and lead everybody to the parking lot and carry home. All right, I understand, I would love to do the same thing, but we need to know where your child is so we can have a nice, peaceful evening when it's all said and done. I would like a big shout out to Mrs. Astorkia and Mrs. Carrico, because without them, this would not have happened whatsoever. Our PE teacher and our pretty much everybody helps and jumps in and makes these things as successful as they can be. So give them an applause for everybody else. And now, here we go. Yep, this is Karen from Legacy. All right, hello. For those of you that do not know me, I'm Mrs. Kirko. I teach PE here. I'm so glad to see so many of y'all here. What I see is so many field day volunteers, and I'm very excited about that. So, field day this year is Monday, May 19th. It's all in the morning, so it'll be done before noon. Information will come out in a couple of weeks. It'll be on a bright green neon paper. So look for that, and that's how you can volunteer. And then there will be a little bit extra closer to the 19th. Thank you. They lived with their mother. When they grew up, it was time for them to leave home and build their own houses. Their mother was sad to see them go. They were a little sad too. Each pig looked for something to use to build their house. The first pig met a straw peddler.
Let me in. No way, no way, no way. No way will I let you in. No way, no way, no way. Not by every teaching. Then I'll blow your house down. I bet fat pig, do you want it? Do you want it? Take me, let me in. No way, no way, no way. No way will I let you in. No way, no way, no way. Not back there on the TV. No way, no way, no way. No way will I let you in. No way, no way, no way. Not back there on the TV. And I'll run up and I'll blow your house down. Got a big fat pig, do you want a big fat pig? Do you want a big fat pig to eat? Yum, 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 yum. wanted a medal for a long time. They would miss the medal, they were sad. We are going over the bridge to the neighbor's life. The rabbits protect the trees. What? You're going to cross the bridge? Watch out, there's a troll under there. He's big, he's mean, and he's happy as a bear. Watch out, there's a troll under there. He's big, he's mean, and he's hungry as a bear. I will be careful. Fanny Goat went to say goodbye to Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit. We're going to crash the base What? The butterflies flapped their wings. What? You're going across the bridge? Watch out, there's a troll under there. He's big, he's mean, and he's hungry as a bear. Watch out, there's a troll under there. He's big, he's mean, and he's hungry as a bear. I will be careful. The first to go over the bridge were Annie Goat and Willie Goat. The troll rubbed his tongue and smacked his lips. Then stop where you are. I will gobble you up. Oh, please don't gobble us up. If you wait a few minutes, something will go. I'll be off you go. After a while, Fanny Goat and Lily Goat began to play some games. The mean and ugly troll under the bridge were late. I hear some walking on my bridge, my bridge, my bridge. I hear some walking on my bridge, and at the feet are such a treat to eat. Who's now walking over my bridge? It is I, Fanny Goat. I am walking to the hillside with my kid brother Nearly. The troll rubbed his tongue and smacked his lips. Then stop where you are. I will gobble you up.
Oh, please don't gobble us up. If you wait 2 minutes, something will go.
Gobble up you. After a while, Big Bertha Lee and Billy Goat began to cross the bridge. The mean and ugly troll under the bridge heard them. I hear some walking on my bridge, my bridge, my bridge. I hear some walking on my bridge, and at their feet are such a treat to eat. Who's now walking over my bridge? It is I, Big Bertha Lee. I'm walking to the hillside with my kid brother Billy. The troll thought, these must be the biggest goats. The troll rubbed his tongue and smacked his lips. Then stop where you are. I will gobble you up. Well, come on up and do it. The mean and ugly troll climbed up on the bridge. He looked hungrily at the goats. He raised his mean and ugly arm. Billy Goat's legs started to tremble. Just then, Big Bertha Lee lowered her head. She ran towards the troll and gave him a mighty push with her horns. The troll was very surprised. He fell over and rolled across the bridge. He rolled right into the middle. screamed a mean and ugly scream. The three nanny goats and their brothers were happy on the hillside. They ate fresh green grass and got fat, and they're still probably fat today. So snip, snap, snap, his tail's pulled out. for a treat, as a bunch of kooky creatures you're about to meet. They say that pigs are sloppy, yes, that's a well-known fact. But we're a bunch of pigs who are cleaning up our act. It makes us so unhappy and brings a tear to our eye. When someone sets our home, looks like a pigsty. So please, before you call his name, I hope you stop his game, because we're a bunch of neat pigs who never make a mistake. Some chickens are broiled and some just fly the coop. Others are boiled and made into chicken soup. The thought of that makes us shake and shiver, but that will be us to run that tough liver. No one's making us with chicken stock because we're funky chickens who know how to fry.
Everyone, this is how the dance is done.
Most cows are known for their milk and their butter, but we're dancing cows in the last no other. Our musical town just cannot be beat, and our special milkshake is one tasty treat. We've grown